Okay, today we are going to do a cupping of 3 really amazing coffees, 3 Geshas, and I'm very excited to be doing this because they are 3 coffees from 3 different regions, and they're all the same varietal, and they're all super high quality coffees. And we're gonna do a cupping of them, and it's gonna be pretty exciting.
We're doing 4.
4? Okay, I take that back. We're doing 4 coffees.
We're doing 4.
4, okay. I don't know what that 4th coffee is, but that'll be very exciting. So we're gonna get this cupping set up, and I'm gonna put the camera down, and it should be fun. I don't know what any of these coffees are. They all smell great though. Wow. Like when she was grinding them, I was smelling them all the way there. Well, I mean, the distance is very different. It's hard to convey on camera here, but yeah. You know, it's coffees that you can smell across the room. So this is the thing, when it's blind, I think this is the hardest thing for me is evaluation of dry aroma. I think I am much stronger at associating flavors from regions of brewed coffee, aka once we get water on them. But this is smelling amazing. There are varying roast states between some of these coffees. This is incredible. Okay, this one smells very fresh. These 3 smell very rested. They all smell like Geshas. Like, you know, very floral. There's a delicacy in it. Yeah, or maybe one coffee on here is like not even a Gesha. I'm getting trolled here. But yeah, we're doing this blind and we're gonna find out which one's which. I think they're on the bottom of the cup. I could just cheat and look at them.
All right. So how was your first pass?
Yeah, these coffees all smell incredible. I do think some of these are not as rested. Like this one to me smells like a little fresh. My favorite so far is this one, and then one of these 2. Maybe this one. I have a guess as to which one is which so far. Oh jeez. Okay, things are now more complicated than they are. Isn't coffee supposed to be fun? Why are you making this so hard?
I'm making it fun.
Oh, okay, but whoa, really nice.
I'm removing bias.
This is a fun exercise. You know, we're doing blind, right? I said fun exercise. It's fun.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get some water on them.
When the timer ends.
They all smell very floral, very sweet. They smell like what I picture Gesha to smell like.
So 4 different Geshas from 4 different origins.
Wow.
Or maybe they're not.
Or maybe
they're not all Gesha.
Yeah, maybe one of them isn't a Gesha. I don't know.
It's not completely apples to apples because they have different roast states.
But it
yeah.
should be within the same picture, you know, same
Yeah.
varietal, 4 different regions, or maybe, you know, one is not a Gesha, we don't know yet. We'll find out.
I know.
Yeah, well,
you don't
I don't know. I'm just gonna get exposed as a fraud. I don't know anything anymore about coffee. Okay.
All right, I think it's
we're
time.
at 4 minutes. We can break these now.
You can do these two.
Okay,
I'll
I'll do these two. It smells really good. I am kind of thrown in a loop. These all smell great. They all have, well, okay, 3 of these have a really interesting floral component and sweetness at the end. I think one of these coffees either is significantly fresher or it is of a different varietal. Like it's not Gesha at all. My initial thoughts is I think these 3 are Geshas. This coffee here is either roasted much more recent or it's not Gesha. That is a thought right now.
Interesting thought.
But it's because these all have this like very delicate floral and like sweet component to it. This here doesn't have that at the end. Like it does smell sweet, but there's like a lack of florality in my opinion. But I think I want to taste them before I make any conclusions.
When was the Kenya roasted?
The Kenya was roasted about a month ago. It's like 4-ish
Okay.
weeks ago.
So one was roasted a month ago. One was roasted 3 weeks ago. One was roasted 3 days ago.
Okay.
And one was roasted 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I'm thinking that coffee is roasted 3 days ago. That is like my guess right now. Could be wrong.
Okay, I think we can start
All right.
tasting.
Start tasting these. That was really good. All of these coffees are really good. Yeah, this coffee tastes super fresh.
So, thoughts on the first pass?
There are 2 coffees in here that have really interesting acidity, but actually all of these coffees finish, like they're all clean. All of these coffees are like clean. They're like clean. They're floral. They're sweet. I think I need to wait for them to cool down a little more. But they all kind of taste like, or at least 3 of these coffees, or maybe all of them, kind of taste like in the same picture. But what I'm really observing is that these are all, really high quality coffees.
So, are they like siblings or are they like cousins or?
I think they're like cousins.
Yum, yum, yum.
Wow. These are.
I'm drinking all of it.
Yeah, I'm also drinking these too. I'm trying to figure out which coffees they could be.
Maxwell House in here.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's Maxwell House in here.
There is no Maxwell House. Or maybe all of them are Maxwell House.
Maxwell House Panama Gesha. I said that they're kind of like cousins of each other, where I think the biggest observation that I'm having is I would say the dynamics of each of these is that they all have kind of similar presentations in terms of, well, 3 of these. I think these 3 are all Geshas. This one to me is either a little too fresh or maybe not a Gesha, or maybe I can't tell because it's so fresh, but these 3 have this flower component, this floral component of them that I think is really interesting. They're all really clean. These are all wash coffees. And
Are they?
I think they're wash coffees. They taste like they're wash coffees. Or maybe I don't know anything anymore. At least 2 of these feel like they're washed. But there is a level of dynamics in terms of acidity that is very different between each of these. Or I kind of think about 2 core components of coffee tasting, or whenever I taste coffees nowadays, I think about like 2 components. Like, what is the initial thing you are experiencing in the sense of these coffees? Usually it's some form of acidity. And how long does that acidity stay before it becomes like floral or sweet or clean? And all of these coffees kind of finish in the same way, just the length of how long, the extension of acidity and how long it's staying on my palate is a bit different. And of course, the type of acidity is very different, or more so the fruit note. So I think that's why I'm like, they all, I don't want to say stylistically finish the same, but they exhibit a lot of the same characteristics. And at least that is what I have observed in tasting some Geshas side by side. But I've never done this experiment of like, we're attempting to taste these blind and we're hoping that I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so time to pick your favorite. Or you can have different favorites for different reasons.
Okay. I have a toss-up right now between these 2. I think these 2 are my top 2. This is very close, but I feel like I'm trying to pick a. Ooh, now that okay, actually, wait, this one's really good too. God, they're all good.
What if they're all the same coffee?
I don't think they're all the same coffee. Like, the way the acidity is on my tongue for how long it is, it's a bit different. And they all smell slightly different. Or I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting. We're getting a second guest here.
You're all seeing Brian under pressure, immense pressure.
This is why I will never be a green buyer. You're a intimidating coffee professional, and I'm just a home enthusiast. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's still lukewarm. It hasn't completely cooled yet. It's been about 30 minutes, 28 minutes.
Okay. I think I will. Okay, so these 2 are very close to me. These 2 here.
Close in what way?
How
Characteristics?
characteristics in terms of how loud the acidity is. So to me, if I just purely pick on what is my favorite aspect of coffee, my favorite aspect of coffee is vibrancy and structure of acidity and like loudness of acidity. And these two coffees to me are very expressive. They're like, here is acidity, and then they finish in kind of varying ways at the end. Very similar, you know, clean, floral, sweet, but I think this coffee is maybe ever so louder. But these two, like, actually these three are all like in some similar picture of that. They're like molded in different ways in terms of how that acidity is. And I also think the actual flavor, the type of acidity is quite close too. But I think there's some sort of savory in this. If I were to guess what this coffee is, I feel like this is the Kenyan Gesha. That is like my thought, because there is like a little bit of that Kenyan savoriness. And then I think this is a Panama of some sorts. Or I could flip those too. And I don't know anything anymore. That is at least my thought. This second coffee here might be, if I were to guess from whatever coffees you have right now, my guess might be, this might be the Honduras of sorts, maybe. And then this feels like Altieri. Or maybe I'm just completely wrong. It's like another very possible.
We'll do a grand reveal.
But my two favorite for sure right now are between these two. And I think I would probably pick this one as my favorite.
3?
I'm just gonna get it all wrong. I'm gonna get exposed right now.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to be humbled on how good I can taste. Or what's your favorite? Do you have it? Like, what would you say is your favorite of these? To me, it's a toss-up between these three, but I think this is a little better. But also, I would drink any of these. Like, I would drink any of these all day. I think these are all incredible coffees.
This is what I want to drink tomorrow morning.
So this is your favorite?
It's what I want to drink tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right. I think this is mine. This coffee just tastes a little too fresh. I think this is like the 2-day, 3-day off roast one.
Yeah.
These ones I've all kind of opened up. So you like this one, I like this one.
Well, like you say, these three are very similar in characteristic. You can tell that they could be the same varietal. Floral and fruity, very clean, very sweet. This, to me, is more explosive in flavor.
Okay.
This has this kind of, like, the aftertaste, if you taste it again.
Okay. Like, there's maybe like a little bit of like hollowness at the back, or like, versus this.
It's
See,
like
now I'm second guessing
the
myself.
aftertaste is like a honey water, but diluted.
This is also maybe like aged more. This feels like that property at the end is like in maybe it's older coffee.
This has like all the fruits.
There's a lot of structure
It has
in this.
fresh fruits and dried fruits. Yeah, layered and
Now I'm
well
like,
structured.
maybe I'll change my answer. No.
But actually, when I reordered them, I wasn't counting which was which, so I don't know either.
Oh, but okay.
I have my speculations, but I don't know.
I think these two are very close. I do think this has like a louder presentation of acidity, but maybe the way that this is presented is a little more in line with what I personally like.
Okay.
So this is very subjective.
So if I were to be, should I make myself vulnerable and try to guess what's what?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel so exposed. Okay, so I think this is, well, do you want to guess and then do I guess after you, or?
Sure. So I think this is Santa Felisa, Guatemala.
Number 2?
Number 2. I think this is,
Say the number.
well, I don't know what the number, oh,
1, 2, 3,
okay.
4, so they know.
Oh, okay. So I think number 1, number 1 might be Altieri or Kenyan Gesha. They both have like this, I feel like number 1 is Altieri. That's like my thought.
Man, I'm
now
nervous.
Now I'm second guessing myself. Oh God, this is so hard. They're all really good. That's the problem, is like, they're all so good that there's not like a distinctive jump, I would say. Or is this Altieri? Oh God.
Okay, so
Okay, I think this is probably Altieri. This is probably 1 is probably Altieri, 2 is Santa Felisa, 3 I think is Kenyan Gesha, or that could also be Altieri. I don't know. 1 or 3 is an Altieri or Kenyan Gesha. 4, I don't know what it is.
Okay, so I think this is the Guatemala that was roasted 2-3 days ago.
Okay. The yellow Katuai?
No, Santa Felisa Gesha washed.
Okay.
But it ages very nicely.
Okay. So
You
it's
get
too fresh.
more like bergamot, flowers. I think this one is the Kenyan Gesha. I think this one is Altieri.
Oh.
And I think this is Honduras COE washed.
Okay, interesting.
And so the answer is written at the bottom.
Oh, at the bottom. Okay. all
I
right.
feel very vulnerable right now. Oh my gosh.
Or maybe you're just amazing at this. Honduras.
Wow.
Okay.
Oof.
Wow. Okay, you know what you're doing.
So that's Honduras.
Honduras, Altieri, and then Kenya. And then this, by
Is
process of
the-
elimination,
yeah.
is... But this was like roasted 2 days ago. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, it's either so fresh or I cannot tell that it's a Gesha because it's so fresh. Okay, so I liked this one the most, and you like this one the most. But I was like a toss-up between these two because this was my favorite from the COE cupping that we did. And these two have this really interesting yellow fruit acidity. That's why I was like, this is really interesting. There's like a yellow fruit acidity. Makes sense why I like this coffee so much because it's like an explosion of yellow fruits. But I think this actually has more structure of acidity than this coffee.
To me, this has more complexity.
More complexity? Okay.
To me. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like the roast dates are all different.
Yeah, but these two were my favorite, and I was like, I was tossing up between, but I got the region wrong. But you know, all is aligned when I end up picking a say roast, right? Oh God, there is alignment in my life and preferences and roast style.
But yeah, this I got like very clean, mandarin orange. Yeah,
Like the
Classic
classic Panama
washed.
Gesha, but it's loud. That's
Yeah.
the interesting thing is like I feel like a lot of these Panama Geshas, they're they score high and they're kind of a little harder to taste.
subtle.
Yeah, very subtle complexities. This coffee's got that loud citrus presentation, very clean. The Honduras though, lemongrass, clean, Kenyan Gesha, tropicals. But okay, now that I'm tasting this side by side, right? Like this has this level of structure to it. Like the acidity is just so structured. It's
like
up there. Yeah, and then there's
you
like
keep
layers and
finding
layers.
more.
This here, you get that tropical fruit and then it goes into a bunch of florals, into that like, sweet honey and all of that. But this Honduras I actually think is more interesting now, now that I know what they are, but also this is like an experience, this Honduras here. Wow. But you can tell they're all Geshas. And then now that this is really, really cooled down, the Santa Felisa, let's give it a taste.
We'll cup this one again.
Yeah, we can
when
cup it
it's
again
aged.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's doing something. Before it definitely was fresh, but now I'm getting some of those like sweeter florals. It's clean. I think this just needed a lot longer of a brew time in a cupping bowl. Yeah, I think
opens up.
yeah, this is really opened
the
up.
sides of your
Wow. Okay.
Cool. So wow, this was fun.
So they were all Geshas, obviously, varying regions and all that, but yeah, wow, now that one really cooled down. Very impressive. Very sweet, very clean, very, very floral. I think like redder fruits or of sorts, whereas these three are all more like your citrus and yellow and tropical fruits. That's like your red fruit Gesha. But they all now, I couldn't tell at the beginning because it was really fresh, but now, so yeah, these were like 4 different coffees, different regions, and I think this is really just showing like Gesha's. I mean, it's good. Gesha's good. No, but it's more of like if you have well processed, clean, washed coffees, like even though they're from different regions, they're all kind of close nowadays. Like I feel, I would have felt like this would have accelerated. A lot of people like Panama, right? And it's like Panama's like here, but like this Honduras is incredible for like it being a region that I think people don't really think about Gesha, right? Like I don't really think a lot of people think like Honduras. I think people are thinking like Pacas and other varietals. They're not really thinking like, oh, Honduras Gesha, right? And this is really, really strong. Like I actually like now that I'm tasting it again, like yeah, this is probably like the strongest coffee out of these 4 for what I'm liking. Same thing with Kenya. Like Kenyan Gesha, where's that coming from? Pretty crazy that's happening. But they're all kind of different pictures of the same varietal. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So again, to recap, 4 different Geshas from 4 different countries. Honduras Gesha washed, Altieri, Panama Gesha washed, and Kenya
Gesha wash.
Gesha washed, and then Guatemala, Santa Felisa, no bag yet.
Yeah, but Gesha washed.
Yeah, Gesha washed. All
Yeah.
washed Gesha coffees.
They're all clean, floral, complex, and sweet. Just the way the acidity is presented is so different between each of them. And I think one thing that I'm starting to get a lot better at least when I'm cupping with you, is experiencing some of the layering, right? Usually I'm like more impressed by what is the initial hit of acidity that I get, but now I'm thinking a lot more of that, the deeper layers of how the acidity is transforming. And this Honduras is absolutely impressive to me.
Wow, so Honduras
maybe this is my
Gesha
favorite coffee.
beat the Panama Gesha is the conclusion.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. We'll see you later.
Bye.